And welcome to the Sabi Sands. It is a beautiful morning and we're in a hurry. We've got it from the Djuma waterhole camera that there's a snake causing some kind of trouble with the weavers that are nesting there. I'm guessing the snake could be trying to get into the nests and steal eggs and or chicks. So we're going to rush on down there. We're just a few minutes away. We've got Jason on camera this morning.
Morning.
And Alex in final control. And Alex, thanks for passing that information through. And to the Zoomy who found the snake, well done. I'll just need to check tracks along the way to make sure we don't miss any important evidence, but nothing there. So it's overcast morning, but the sun may burn through. You can see a few lighter patches of blue sky, but for now it's crisp and cool and perfect weather conditions for us. When we did arrive about 20 minutes ago, we did hear monkeys alarm calling, also down by the dam here, so there's a chance that there could be another predator around, or maybe even the monkey were alarming at the snake. Okay, so I've just got a report from Alex saying the snake is still in this tree, hanging by the weaver's nest. Thank you, Alex. If I can see it. Look at the vertical stick going upwards there, I think. No, that's a stick.
Those tend to be big too, don't worry.
Yeah, okay. So I thought I saw the snake, but I didn't. But I am just going to use this opportunity to try and establish where it is. Because and you can't miss it.
I'm missing it.
So on the top left, don't look through the camera. Don't look through the camera. Look at the tree, dangling top left. It's vertically down, swinging like a pendulum.
From which branch?
You see the nest on the far left?
Yeah.
Go 3 nests to the right, and there it's dangling to the right of that 3rd nest. The top left.
There's a snake in the tree.
Yes.
Over there. That's a snake.
It's an egg eater. And that. Oh no, it's not. It looks like a baby African rock python. And they're pecking its head so hard that I fear the snake may actually drop into the water, and it looks to be bleeding from its mouth. So this baby African rock python, even though it would have made sense to be hunting these, it would have made sense to him. It's such a good opportunity. He obviously didn't realize what he was up against, and it is a newborn baby, this rock python. I think we will be able to get a better angle, I wonder, from the other side. We will be a lot closer. Hey Jason?
Yeah, and the sun in the background.
Okay, let's scoot around, folks. This is quite hard to watch actually, because this python might be in trouble, but ever so slightly closer. There it is to the right. Have you got it there?
Yeah, hold on.
Wow, folks, isn't this just incredible? So now you can see slightly better colorations of this beautiful snake. But like I said, looks to be in trouble. Its best move would be to simply just drop from the tree now, as they are good swimmers. I'm not sure how many more pecks to the head it could sustain, because it did appear to be bleeding. I'm going to try and have a look with my binoculars now. But yes, it does appear to be bleeding quite profusely. And all it needs to do is drop from that tree into the safety of the water, and then it'll be okay. Oh, taking some serious punishment. Really is incredible how these birds, even though they could fall prey to the snake if he ambushed them, are now completely overwhelming him, or it rather. And this is nature. We mustn't forget that the snake was intending on catching and killing these weaver's babies, so their response to it is completely understandable. I'm just very surprised that it hasn't dropped down from this tree. It obviously is dazed and confused, but I'm sure at some point it will drop from the tree, and this may be its saving grace, because like I said, they are very good swimmers and it'll be safe once it hits the water. I'm going to get out and try and take one or two photos, because this is a special opportunity. So excuse me for a second.
That's a negative.
This really is such a rare thing to see, that to capture the moment photographically, as well as visually now, just watching and taking it in, is very special. I love these snakes, they're one of my favorite snakes, so to see it in this pickle isn't easy, but like I say, it's nature. It was here with the intent on killing these weavers' babies, and it was a great idea, barring the fact that they are seriously forceful and will protect their young, as you can see. I'm intrigued to know whether it's just going to drop from this tree, and that way it could have a chance. If it continues to just hang there getting pecked slowly by slowly, I don't know how many more blows it'll be able to take. There is blood slowly dripping from its head, so
If it dropped from the water, would the terrapins have a go at it?
it's a very good question, Jason. I think, like I say, pythons are good swimmers, and most snakes can swim, so I think it would slither off quite quickly, but the fact that he is bleeding isn't going to help, because the terrapins have got a great sense of smell, so they could smell that he is bleeding and then be attracted towards him. Okay, Rick has just brought up a very good point. Good morning, Rick, and welcome on board. Rick mentioned that it looks like his tail is caught, and it could well be, it could have been during the mobbing. It may have got a bit tangled up in this thorny acacia tree, and therefore that may be his problem that he's facing now, that he can't pull his body up. Back to that point where he's got stuck, so that certainly is a possibility. And I'm just having a look through some of my photos here to see if they don't tell me a story. Look, he could well be snagged, but he also could just be hanging on for fear of falling. It's hard to tell from my photographs, but very interesting nonetheless. A very good point though, it could be that he is stuck and he doesn't have the choice to let himself down. Oh. And this is brutal. I'm not sure how much longer you can tolerate this. But, and now a black-headed bulbul is, or a yellow-vented bulbul has just landed in the tree, and that's the call you can hear being let off. So he's obviously just arrived and realized, oh, there's a snake, and he's putting out the alarm now, so better late than never, but he is quite late indeed. In order to fool the birds into thinking they've killed it, and that is a chance. I don't know how often python do that. There are certainly other snakes. The rinkels is one that comes to mind in southern Africa that will feign thanatosis or play dead. But pythons aren't known for it, or at least I don't know that they are. And as you can see from his behavior, he's certainly not playing dead. Or if he did just dangle dead still, they may well indeed think he's dead, but he's not doing that. So sadly, I don't think he has got this trick up his sleeve. To get the timing of these shots, you have to really take a lot of photographs to try and get the right one. Yeah, there's a lot of viewers saying honestly that it could be caught on a thorn, and I agree completely with them that it could be caught. But it's just a tiny little corner of its tail that it could well have purposefully latched on there. But the fact that it hasn't dropped by now may therefore lead us to believe that he is indeed hooked. And essentially the best thing that could happen would be for a bird of prey to come now, and I'm sure it won't be long before a bird of prey does come, I'm hoping, and put the snake out of its misery, because it's not in a good position here. Lisa just asked whether these birds will eat the snake, and no, they won't. They are seed-eating birds, the weavers, so the only things that will eat it will be the terrapin if it drops down into the water, and the catfish that are also in this dam. But I'm guessing a bird of prey, a raptor of sorts, is going to be the one to eat this baby python.
I reckon it's still stuck.
Yeah, it must be for it to have not dropped by now.
You must think it rather inconvenient.
No. Not a good position to be in there. Well, this is really interesting, and it will be very interesting to know what happens here, but thankfully, because there is the waterhole cam, they will be able to monitor that, and we can go and look for something else, I think. So if any of the viewers are interested in following this, then like I said, it will be airing on the waterhole cam. We can go and look for something else, and that way try and have a few different things to look at. But this has been a fascinating sighting. Certainly not what I expected to find. I expected to find a boom slung, was my guess as to the type of snake that was going to be feeding on them, which directly translates to tree snake. And I thought it would have been having a go at the actual chicks poking its head into the nests, but we arrived here and it was the roles reversed. The hunter had become the hunted. And sadly the future for this baby python looks very bleak, which is sad because that little snake could grow into a 6-meter giant, but I don't think it's going to. Excuse me. Now, what to do? Well, we always speak about how much we want to see snakes, so that is really fortunate, but again, sad to see it in that kind of a scenario. And again, a huge well done to the Zoomy that found that snake. Really impressed, and thank you for helping us so much in being able to see that interesting sighting. There's quite a few people that Alex has just named to me, too many for me to even mention one of, but thank you to all of those of you involved. You know who you are. Look for some tracks as a starting point to establish where some of our harder to find characters may be. Well, who knows, maybe we'll just bump into them along the way without having to track them. Either way, we are just going to drive around and see what pops up. But we will be moving through an area where we did see a young male leopard late last night, and we'll see if we can find any tracks of him in that general area. He could well have moved a long way from where he was last seen, but the only way to establish this is by going to the last point and seeing where his tracks take you from there. For any of you who may be joining for the first time, welcome on board. And just to let you know, it is an interactive safari, so you may have noticed there were a few questions coming through during that last sighting, which we got very lucky with as a starting sighting. And if you would like to ask some questions, you can do so on Twitter at #SafariLive, or on email, questions@WildEarthTV. So please send through your questions, and Alex will do his best to get them through to us. does happen through the waterhole cam. I'm really interested to know what happens to that little python. Thanks, thank you very much. Untangle himself from that tree and drop down into the water. I think it'll be a bird of prey that comes in and dispatches that snake at some point. Even if the weavers manage to kill it, they'll have no way of being able to feed on it, so it'll just dangle there until some kind of a predator sees an easy meal. Something that I really didn't expect to see here. Some lion tracks. This is something that I really didn't expect to see here. Some lion tracks. Look. Looks just like one big male. Okay, well that's awesome, and what we can even try and do is get Jason to show you some of these tracks, which are very big. Oh, sorry. I mean, here you've got a good size comparison with those two tracks as to how big they are. But this one up here could be even better. That was good. But those other ones, the angle might be better there. Jason, how are they looking?
That looks like a good line.
A good sized lion track.
Call it. I think you're right.
Thank you for your kind words. Okay, well that's good news. We were looking for a young male leopard and we found a fully grown male lion track. So, great start. And we will certainly be following these. How early last night or early this morning, late last night he moved, it's hard to tell. But we know that he headed down this road at some point last night, and that is wonderful news. With male lions, they can move huge distances, so... Oh, no, there's more than one. Or isn't there? We'll just cross over there. Yeah, he just crossed over. So just one male. I thought there could have been two initially, but it is looking to be just the one. Yeah. And this is exactly where we had the male leopard tracks that led us to the leopard we found yesterday afternoon. Some fresh sign of buffalo there, but the lion tracks do continue, so he didn't get. And the good news is where this male lion's heading is where I would have driven anyway to look for Djuma, the male leopard, who we had just down on our left, but on the other side of the riverbed yesterday. Come on, male lion. Been a lot of elephant damage here, it looks like, from last night. Oh no, hold on. I think this could have been where buffalo came crashing through. There's a lot of buffalo tracks here, and it could have been something to do with this lion and the buffalo, because now I've got the tracks of this lion facing back here. So where's the buffalo kill? Oh, there's the rumen back there. They've killed the buffalo last night. So you can see where they've emptied the stomach contents, and there's a little bit of blood here. Yeah. Wow, look at this. Look at the carnage in the road there from where the lion would have taken down this buffalo. I just don't understand how there's absolutely nothing left.
I reckon he did it himself.
He could well have. But I just don't understand now where the lion is and where the rest of the buffalo is. It may have been a small buffalo. We can't tell how big the buffalo is just from this small pile of rumen. The stomach contents that the lion would have pulled out. This is bizarre. I mean, this whole area is flattened. I think it would have been the lion would have attacked a young calf out of a large herd. And the reason why we can see this whole area has got so much damage, especially in front here, Jason, where you can see the grass has been flattened. I think this would have been from the large herd returning and trying to chase the lion. So all this flattened grass, I'm not sure how easy it is for you to see, but the large herd of buffalo would have come back here, and I think he would have been hidden under this bush, and they would have been running around trying to get this calf back, but evidently not being able to, because a buffalo did die here last night.
There's a drag mark across the road.
Oh,
there it is. It's over there.
Jason, you professional tracker, you! Between VM yesterday and Jason today, this is just incredible, and I'm going to show you the drag mark that I should have realized or noticed on the way in, but I didn't, and I will show you what Jason did realize. Would you mind showing them the drag mark, Jason?
He obviously started on this side of the road and made his way across the road over there.
So there you can see a very distinctive drag where the buffalo got dragged off, and there's the male lion. I mean, can you believe it? Well done, Jason. Located this Madoda, he knocked it. Adults who calls all on his own. So you said male lions can't hunt, and he's a brute. I don't know who he is, what pride he comes from, but he really is a monster. Got a beautiful, beautiful big man. And we're just going to get into position and then hope he doesn't go further down into this riverbed. He has eaten a amount. It's actually incredible how much eaten. Oh, there we go. Just point on the line quickly while he's facing us for a second. Because the kill's not going anywhere.
I feel like I was too late on that one.
Yeah, you may have missed that opportunity, Jason. Yeah, you may have missed that opportunity, Jason. Okay, well, this morning just keeps getting better. From weavers killing pythons to lions killing buffalo. It's certainly been a lot of carnage, but the necessary steps have been taken by the weaver for them to ensure their chick's safety, and the necessary steps have been taken by this lion to feed himself, not just continuing down the road. That showed us that there was some kind of a struggle. And then we found that point where obviously managed to bring down this cow, but the large herd that she would have formed a part of would have come back to try and rescue her. Hence all the debris and flattened grass around that small shelter that he somehow managed to hide himself in of vegetation. And then Jason's specialist tracking skills came into play then when he saw the drag mark, and the drag mark led us onto the side of the road and then to the lion and the kill. Now to Ephraim, whereabouts is that? Okay, copy. Just to let you know, it's got about 60. He's got 60% of an adult's mafazinyari. Just one makulu madoda. Okay, copy. Well, I'll keep look. I'm gonna leave this position, but anyone can come here. Well, I think we've done our work here, folks. We saw the lion with his head up for a bit. He's extremely full-bellied, as you can see. And either myself or Mark will come back here this afternoon, or possibly us come back a little bit later on our way back from the morning drive. We'll stop in here again, but we're going to get no action out of this. So let's rather go and look for something else. And we will put this in the bank for this afternoon, when he will hopefully be a bit more active. Oh, hold on, there's another lion. Is there? Or was that a termite mound? No, there's another one. I saw its tail flick. Oh, sorry. I'd be interested to know if these two were together, or if one managed to get onto these buffalo and the other one hear the audio and come and help. Because I'm almost certain that it was just tracks of the one coming down here. We would have seen if it was tracks of two, it would have been easy enough over that stretch of road that we covered. So...
should I show this?
I don't think necessary. Have you showed it a little bit?
I can't remember now. What
Alex, have you seen the kill? Or not? Alex, have you seen a shot of the kill or not? Okay, perfect. That'll do then. People have had a brief glimpse. I think that's good enough. Unless you want to zoom in on some of those big blue flies.
don't know, people might be eating supper, so...
Yeah, might be dinner time. Okay folks, well, this is great prospects for later, but for now there's just not enough going on to warrant us being here. And there's so much other potential action to be witnessing out there. Wow. Joking. Now there's a message has come through that the python managed to catch onto a weaver, so it obviously bit onto one that was attacking him, got a lucky strike, but he subsequently dropped it. Alex, did he coil around it, or did he just catch it in its mouth? Okay, well, very interesting. Thanks, Alex, for that update. Okay. So now, interestingly enough, there are tracks of one lion coming this way, so there's a lot of up and down movement here, actually. Either way, very interesting stuff, and how lucky we've been to... The lion was sleeping on the road there for a while. To find them so early on in the morning and have such good prospects for this afternoon, and hopefully they're a little bit more lively. And according to some of the experts we have that follow us on the different animals in this area, that is apparently two of the Matimba males, so thank you for that confirmation. Roger's just asked whether if we got too close to the lion's kill, would the lion react, and there certainly is a chance that they would react to that, but right there, I mean, we were only meters away from the kill and they didn't bother, but we know that's in all likelihood how they will react in this area because they are very used to our presence, so it is unique. But on foot, certainly you've got more chance of charged by a lion with a kill than without one, as it's more happy to run away from an area where it doesn't have a kill or anything to lose than it would be to obviously forfeit a kill to anything. So it certainly can be a factor when out on foot. If you come across animals on kills, they will act more aggressively to you. And it could even be applicable to domestic cats and dogs that get a little bit feisty if you get near to them when they're feeding. Okay, so now we are looking for leopard tracks. I'm hoping they're going to pop out somewhere in front of us here, and then we'll follow them down towards Treehouse Dam, where we'll find him sleeping in a beautiful jackalberry tree with his brother and his mother, the three of them. That is the plan. It may not work, but wouldn't it be very nice if it did? It's possible, and I really would love two things to happen before I leave at the end of the month. And the clock is ticking. It's almost down to single digits for me. It is for Jason, sadly. He's out of here soon, so we're making the most of his presence while he's still around. But there's two things that I'd like to see before I go or share with you, and that would be a cheetah sighting. And secondly, that would be to see Karula with her two sons together. 3 leopards, 3 adults, even though the 2 males are young, they're fully grown. There goes some more buffalo. There's a young calf. So shown, this is obviously the remainder of this large herd of buffalo that moved through the area last night. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link ahead of them rather than catching this back end of the herd. Shame, I wonder why that calf's following a male, whether that calf's mother wasn't the one that was taken down. It could well be that this calf is now stuck with just males, and that won't be good for it, and that can happen after hectic events like that could split up a large herd of buffalo. Calves may lose their mothers or the rest of the herd and then be stranded with these old bachelor herds. But let's just keep going ahead here and see. We can't find possibly some females in the herd. It could just be that the bulls are lagging at the back, as they often do. Very interesting. Jason, where did the bug go?
I have no idea.
Okay. They really are intimidating animals, these. And like I say, he will be charged with adrenaline from having probably been head to head with those 2 male lion that we saw not very long ago. And that behavior right there is indicative of a Cape buffalo that's not in a good mood. And we will take heed to that. And look at him tossing his head at us, really emphasizing his displeasure. Wonderful behavior to see, because we often tell you how dangerous and fierce these animals can be, but it's no good us telling you that when they're dozing off in a mud wallow. They look just like a cow, but when you see them acting like it has just behaved now and continues to behave, you realize that they do have something quite intimidating about them. Okay, what would be nice to see though is that young calf again. Let's see if we can have one last look at that, and then we will continue on. Quite a fitting name, I guess, after the movie, which involves a lot of bludgeoning. And Rocky is still receiving a good hiding from the weavers, even though he did manage to bite onto one briefly. That would have simply been striking out in defense, not trying to catch it. He's beyond that, I think. He's realized messing with those birds was a wrong move, and a wrong move he's going to pay the price for, or is paying the price for at the moment. So no sign of that young calf, but I'm sure it still is around, and it's sad how nature works, but at least that young calf does have a few big bulls that can keep an eye on it. And I'm thinking that that calf may have hung around the general area of where it lost its mother. That's why we can still see it here so close by. Okay, so no sign of the leopard tracks yet, and I was hoping they were going to have popped out here by now, which they haven't. So we'll continue and loop back around this treehouse dam if we attempt eventually, if we have enough time. So still do have lots of time. We've seen something that I assume that we would have to go, but actually got plenty. So the signal is not looking good to cut out, but don't be alarmed, it won't be long before we back up and running. Patch signal doesn't work too well. My unit still no leopard tracks. Did only get back to most of the morning because isn't all going to provide us with amount of predators which are harder to find. So the sooner we act on those tracks, the easier it is for us. The less we wait, the less those tracks will become. And even as the sun becomes directly overhead, it becomes harder to see tracks on the ground. Best track early morning, late afternoon, where the sun is coming in at an angle, and that's helping light up the walls of the track and therefore giving something to actually see on the ground. Whereas when the sun's above you and overcast, it can be difficult to track. Ephraim, have you found those Ngala? Morning, it's Scott here. There's two Matimbas on a Mafazi and Yari Bamba on Weaver's Nest, just south of Philemon's Cutland. Yeah, for now that's all I've got on Buyas. Jason looks. Alex, are we live? Copy, thanks. So, just doing a few running repairs here, and what Jason's doing those running repairs, I may strip a layer off. It's beginning to heat up a little bit. I am stuck small. I'm not sure why exactly. Aha, buffalo steaks.
Yeah.
Very nice. We shall continue on from here towards the central parts of Djuma, up on Kunmagan, of Djuma, up on Kunmagan. And I'm sure he did move a fair distance. We let him lead us to where direction. Okay. To Jeffrey's question, Jeffrey mentioned that if you can breed tiger and lions, again, and Jeffrey has point that if you could breed tigers and lions together to create a liger, then you could potentially put and a cheetah into breeds. So that tiger, between a tiger and a lion, being born. They are massive, and it would be interesting to see what would turn out if a cheetah and a leopard, in fact, mates. But when it is part of the cat family, it is too far removed from the Panthera, which is the family that lions and leopards into. They're in their own little sub-family, I forget the taxonomic term now, but lions are Panthera, I think it's pronounced, so they're in a sub-family to lion and leopard, and therefore cannot physically interbreed. It would be a very interesting beast though, a cross between a bear and a leopard. So thanks for my imagination out there, Jeffrey, with what exactly it may turn up to be, how fast it would be. Jeez, it would be interesting. Yes, Asynonyx. Thank you, Alex. I could have found a word that is a little bit easier to pronounce than that, but either way, it is for a reason. What exactly the reason is, I'm not too sure, but there will be some reason to why it has got that name. Ooh, okay, thanks, Alex. Well, some very interesting feedback on Rocky the python, who's in a pickle at Vuyatela Dam. And just to recap for those of you who have just tuned in, this morning the first thing we went to go and see was a baby African rock python, probably 15 centimeters long. It was dangling from a thorn tree within which a lot of weaver birds have got their nests, and the snake obviously thought it had hit the jackpot and it's got a lot of easy meals on the cards, but it didn't realize that these weavers would attack it consistently, and it appears like it may have got its tail stuck, so it's dangling from this thorn tree, and the weavers are giving it a serious hiding, pecking it on the head, flying past, pecking it. Managed to grab onto one weaver, striking out in defense, but then dropped it. And subsequently there's a Burchell's starling and a Burchell's cuckoo that have also arrived in the tree, and that Burchell's cuckoo could be the one that flies away with that kill, but even a baby pie might be too big for a Burchell's cuckoo to deal with, so it will be very interesting. And you all can watch, get that feedback, because people are watching on a live waterhole camera that films 24 hours a day at that dam, and there's people we refer to as zoomies who live all over the world, and they control that camera and where it points, and one of the zoomies actually managed to find the python and inform us of this happening. So a big thank you to them, and well done for finding it, because that's an incredible sighting that we are now being able to enjoy. So well done and thank you. Alright, just thought I saw a small insect on the tree there, but it was not an insect, it was a leaf that had been impaled on a small thorn. I'm really enjoying seeing all the baby hornbills around at the moment, so hopefully we'll be able to see a few more today. They're so cute, and they all appear to be emerging or fledging from their nests at the moment, because it's been in the last week that I've seen 3 different families taking their young hornbills out on, I'm sure, what is some of their first exploratory flights. And what an amazing feeling that must be, flying around after being cooped up in a little cavity for a month, and the next thing just jumping off and flying. Hard to comprehend. They really are adorable, and they've got tiny little beaks relative to how big they get when they grow up. So they look of mud. Well done. Not often that I've had a chance to show you good views of a terrapin, and it's essentially a freshwater turtle. I suppose you do get freshwater turtles in various parts of the States. I think the snapper turtle is one of them. And it appears to just be warming up in the morning sunshine. As you can hear, these weavers are very busy at work, and they don't have a small African rock python dangling amongst them, as do the village weavers at Djuma Dam, so they can carry on here with work, building their nests, undisturbed by any distractions. Really incredible, all this activity, and it's increased quite drastically relative to how it was about a month ago. So they really are upping the tempo here. Listen to the noise. We might have a beautiful little spot here to show you a great angle. Back?
Reverse the left. There you go.
Oh, isn't this great, folks? I mean, we are just getting spoiled rotten this morning. There's one up here on the still in the corner, unless you want to wait for that one to come back.
Oh, should have waited.
Oh, sorry, Jason. As Jason panned away, the weaver came back to this nest with a long blade of grass, so we will certainly wait for it to do the next one. So Jason can get his turn to show you what he had planned to show you before I interfered. Has it left? No, it's still busy in there weaving. Okay. It really would be interesting to know how many snakes have tried, and I'm almost certain they would have tried to get at these weavers too. But possibly bigger, cleverer, or wiser snakes rather, older, wiser snakes may have been able to defend themselves better against the weavers. But that poor python, old Rocky, has got himself into a bit of a pickle. So it's left now, Jason. Now we're waiting for it to fly back with the long piece of green grass. Is that true?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, you lost focus for a moment there, but I'm sure that's the case. He doesn't appear to be in there anymore, so let's see if he comes back at any second with the green grass. Now Jason's fighting with me because there's another one with the beautiful shot that he wants to show you. It's fine. I just thought you wanted to get your shots of the green grass coming back. But they're all great shots, and what a good position to be in that we don't know where to point the camera, or Jason doesn't know. Or he does know, but I keep telling him to point it in the wrong place. Either way, there's a lot going on, and the other one did come back now, but without a blade of grass. Correct?
Yeah, so it's just having a sip.
Okay. Anyway, before we get too caught up in this frantic hive of activity here, we shall prosper forth and see what else is going on out there. Now, there's somebody that I promised I'd make a hippo vocalization for, and seeing as though we're at a dam, this is probably a good time to do it. So here goes. This is my hippo audio. So I had a bet with somebody and I lost it, and I therefore had to perform the hippo audio noise this morning. I'm a little bit late, so I had to perform it at a specific time, but I didn't do that, so I'm sorry that I'm late. But at least you got to hear the hippo call, and it is one of the most wonderful calls of Africa. It often rings out at night, and there's a lot of lodges that are situated close to water sources, be it rivers or dams. So often from the comforts of the lodge you can hear that vocalization. Jason, how's your noise making skills? Well, you can pick animal. If you don't want to do a hippo, you can. Yeah, you probably don't have enough bass for a hippo, shame. But you will be able to make. You surely will be able to make another animal call. So there's no rush, but in your own time, whenever you feel like you are that animal, just let it out.
I haven't lost the bet there, so.
No. We've changed the rules now.
Now it's just a free for all.
No, it's just animal calls.
That's a tough one.
You'll hear a funny noise here, and that's air coming out of our tire, and we're just trying to get as far away from the line as we can because we were driving off-road into the line sighting when we got this flat tire. And that's the squeaking noise you can hear, so we're just going to reverse into a nice shady spot. And we're just gonna make it there as this tyre goes completely flat. Jason's holding his mouth in terror. Well, I'm glad you guys came back to us just then, because you got to see exactly what was going on, and I'm sure you got to hear the air being expelled out of the tyre. So, Jason, Alex, it might be worth going back to the... I wonder, will we be able to film this changing of the tyre?
Technically.
Well, Alex, we'll put the camera on so you can chop and change as you will between the waterhole and the the tyre changing. Sorry about this. But we'll just crack on and we will catch you a little bit later. The last station, go again. Don't you want to aim the camera more to move changing the tyre?
No, it's live. I've got bad timing.
Where are the spanners? To get the wheel off.
Aren't they in the front there by the monitor?
No, one. This is a problem, because that's where they used to live.
Use your teeth.
And now somebody's unpacked them. Which could be a very big problem.
Ask one of the game drive channels if they have.
Yeah. No, there's also a problem. People fill these fucking cars up with shit and not throw any of their stuff away.
Swear words.
Oh. Well, happy to live there.
Right, he's dangling from the tree like this, so you guys are live.
Okay, copy, thanks. If you just head on Weaver's Nest south from the pump house, you'll see on the northern eastern side of the road where the vehicle tracks go off. Alex, we've got a problem in that it appears the spanners have been removed from the vehicle and therefore we cannot get the high level jack off.
Definitely not behind the driver or passenger seats, not fallen between the battery and the seats, has it?
I'm busy looking, but no sign of them. Please get in there and just clean all that garbage out and have a proper look. under all these things here.
Scott, I believe it's that silver ratchet-looking one.
This one. Is that too big?
No, it's not going to work. Oh, here we go. Here it is.
Find it. Yeah, that's big.
Okay. So now what we are doing is removing a high-level jack which has been fastened to this vehicle in probably not the best way, but we'll get it off eventually. It is a little bit time-consuming removing it like this. A little bit of an engineering flaw. We're in no major rush. The line are just down there, maybe about 100 meters away. But thankfully, they are full of buffalo and are not likely to want to have anything to do with us. That was really funny when, as we turned off the road, I just heard.
Yeah, no, I didn't do it. Actually, I did.
Yeah, it's yeah. Did you like my high-speed reverse to get us out of there to safety?
That was pretty excellent. Pretty. I'm there. Not your best moment. I reckon we should have just changed it there so we can have a line here, punchy here.
We could have, Jason, but it wouldn't have been very thoughtful for the line.
For us.
Oh, and us. Hold on, sir. Now, this is the high-level jack. It's a serious piece of machinery. They work very well, but they are dangerous in that if they do slip, this arm can get flung down and knock you quite hard. But there's ways to avoid that, thankfully. I'm going to. Oop.
Turn on, do these first.
What's that?
Let's undo these first.
Yeah?
Pretty good. How you doing there? It sounds like you're struggling.
I'm struggling. But, no, it's all good. Just lifting life out and stuff not necessary. What I do need to do is put the handbrake up. The iron gear. So that we don't roll forward.
This is our second puncture.
And here again, we're approaching on their way to view the lions, so they're going to have to drive around us. Morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Too bad, how are you?
Yeah, all good. All good.
Hi. Yes, unlucky.
Yeah,
So sucky.
it was a little bit unlucky, but all good. It's they're just about 50 or 60 meters
Okay, cool.
ahead, and the tracks head down to the right. We were just going off road to go and have a look at them. When
Okay, cool.
go enjoy.
Found breakaway pride.
Okay.
on Muscal South.
Okay, awesome. How many?
13.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Females, 9 ladies.
Okay, awesome. Thanks very much. Okay, have a good one.
Bye.
That will do.
Well done, Jason. Oh, well done. You've come along at a high speed here. Wunderbar. Now, I wonder what it was that actually caused this puncture. I mean, obviously, it's a small, sharp and strong branch of sorts. But yeah, we're doing a good job with the punctures as of late. We went for weeks without having any.
Well, this is technically our first one ever in the history of these 3 months, was you and I.
Well, as us as a team, yes.
Yeah, and then our second one in the history of ever, of this 3 months, you and I. So we got a bad track record, I think.
Okay. Trick is just to take it slowly and make sure.
Jason, we have a question for you.
Ooh.
Question time. Go ahead.
Have you ever felt intimidated when a big cat is staring directly at you through the camera?
I have, actually, and it was with Alex. When we, I don't know, what, a month ago? We were following the, what pride was that? They don't know what pride it was, I was just terrified. Sometimes they look at you and it's just, you know what they're thinking.
And what are they thinking exactly?
They're thinking, wow, how delicious would that person be in my belly instead of there on the car where it's just a waste of space. So I've been a bit intimidated before. I can hear one more.
Ooh.
No, you don't.
Do you know?
Sorry, that's just the master knows. Which way? This way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it wrong.
Okay, well, it's just a few minutes until we're done here, folks, and then we can go and try and get another flat tire somewhere else.
Yeah. Gotta use 2 hands, right?
Oh, you're doing the double twist, hey? Very good approach you've employed here. Jason is twisting 2 nuts at the same time. Quite a thing. Okay, so just tightening up the bolts now. It'll just be a minute or two. Jason's putting on the flat tire. Hey? What's that?
You're trying to show the whole thing.
Oh no, that's another bad tip. You're gonna have to buy a whole new tire.
Show the thing.
You can try your best to do that. That would be great.
Okay, so I don't know what you can see and what you can't see right now, but
There is the problem. I think I might need to be upwards. Alex, talk to us, dude.
can you see that?
There's a hole somewhere there. This is all buffalo poo.
Yeah, it's all over.
Anyway.
No, I can see that. That's pretty impressive.
I wonder if we should... Yeah, we might as well just put it back properly. Okay. So while Jason puts on the spare tire onto the back, just tightening up a few bolts here, and then we will be on the road again.
No, it's not a problem.
Yeah, was she offering to help you, Jason?
Yeah, she's offering me shoes, I think.
Oh, cute. That's very nice.
Another question for Jason. What's intimidating you more, lion or elephant?
It used to be lion. 100% lion, but now it's 100% elephant. So it's changed. But I'm trying to get over it. But I don't know, I still seem to trust the two guides, which is strange. But
You left with few other choices, really.
yeah. So I reckon elephant have overtaken lion. Lion I'm kind of calm with now. I don't know, I still enjoy both parties very much.
Would you rather approach a male lion or a bull elephant on foot?
I don't know, buffalo weaver rather.
Option C.
Yeah, I'd take option C.
Fair enough.
No.
Would you rather approach a bull elephant or a breeding herd of elephants on foot?
A bull elephant.
Okay, I'll explain yourself.
Because the breeding herd might have babies and they'll get all iffy. And babies are trouble.
Yes.
Whereas a bull elephant is just...
Babies make mummies angry sometimes.
Yeah.
And protective. Not angry, protective. Whereas bulls have got a little bit less to lose.
Yeah, and they can just squash you in one go.
Okay, well, I'm glad we found the missing spanner, because without that we would have been snookered. And okay, well, I'm glad you got to experience a little bit of that with us, folks. I'm sorry that we did lose some time there, and I'm also sorry that we couldn't show you the best angles of us changing the tyre, but sadly this camera cannot be removed, or shouldn't be removed rather, from its mounting. It's got very sensitive cabling that runs from it to all of the various boxes of technical wizardry that make this broadcast possible, and it's best for it to stay on its tripod. Anyway, now I believe that Rocky has...
Okay, Scott, comment from Laura. You've done better than Mark changing the tyre, as he...
Well, thanks. Thank you, Laura. Laura, thank you for your kind words. And it appears that Jason and our pit stop tyre changing team will do well out there relative to others that have been seen. So thank you, Laura. Plug all the pieces back there. Good job. Okay, well, we were going to poke our nose back into these lion and see what they're up to, but I'm guessing they're going to be doing absolutely nothing. It really is heating up now, and that combined with their full belly can lead to them being very sleepy. And that is exactly what's happening. So we'll leave the others here and come back at a more opportune moment when things will be more exciting. In the meantime, we'll go and look for something else. And as I was saying, it appears that Rocky has given up the fight, and it sounds like he has died. Either that or he is playing dead, but I think it could either be exhaustion or the fact that he has died. He's been taking an absolute pounding for a long time this morning, and the inevitable has happened. He has died, as a lot of you have seen, I believe. And well done to Blue Jay, I believe it was, who was the person to find that incredible sighting. So Blue Jay, well done, and a big thank you to you. It really is the most incredible thing to be able to head out on game drive and Alex come across the radio with an update of what's going on, something so interesting like that, and the fact that it was all captured and monitored off a live camera is just really phenomenal. So, and that set the tempo for the morning, and from there we went on to find the lion with the buffalo kill, where Jason started outperforming me with his newly acquired guiding and tracking skills. I think he's been staying up late at night and doing some undercover training, although the behavior we saw this morning is something that cannot be taught in a textbook. It's only from years in the field. So he's showing off these skills.
I've been well trained by yours truly. No, what does that mean, you? Or you?
Oh, Romeo, you're too kind. But really, I mean, between yourself today and VM yesterday spotting that leopard, it really is a pleasure to be with a team of people that are tuned in and focused on the surroundings, because it's imperative out here. You can see how thick it is. I mean, I even wonder to myself how we find animals sometimes. Copy, thanks so much. And just as we were singing the praises of the Zoomies and their work on the Djuma Waterhole camera, another message has just come through from Alex saying excuse me, that there's a beautiful big bull elephant crossing the Djuma Waterhole cam now. And seeing as though we can't get there, Alex, would you like to cut across to it if the images are decent, just to show people? I'm happy, and then you can link back to us when you're done, but that's only if you think the shot's worthwhile. Okay, well, it is hiding behind a bush, but if it does poke its head out again, Alex will be able to switch across to it. Look at that crested barbet there, Romeo. It's got a beautiful dark cloud behind it. Are you in a gap there?
Yep. Thank you.
This really is such a beautiful bird, and I think the lighting that we're going to pick up on him with those dark clouds in the background should be quite magical. They are such pretty birds, these crested barbets, and they've got such a funky coloration and patterning on their bodies, and also a crest that they can fan up as and when they please. Now, I wonder if it's nesting in this marula tree. It could well be. I'm just going to reverse to see if we can monitor where it's... Oh, no, there he goes. Well done, Jason, there, thank you. That was the crested barbets. Okay, now I've been a bit naughty over the last few minutes. I've been slacking and I haven't been checking closely for tracks, so I'm just going to try and redeem myself. It really is critical to make the most of tracking opportunities, because imagine if a leopard did walk down this road and now I drive down the road and cover most of the tracks where she's walked. Anybody else who then drives down this road, it becomes 10 times harder for them to see a single track because most of them would have been covered by our vehicle tracks. So we do need to focus on that at all times, and like I say, without keeping a constant idea of where they are, even if it's not exactly where they are, but just a general idea of where they're moving, that way it increases your chances of finding them because you can move through those areas. Whereas if you lose track of them for a few days, then they could be anywhere. You don't even know where to begin your search. So Jason, you see the butterfly on the road. Please stay there. Please stay there. Stay close. Yes, keep fluttering there. How's it going there? Got it.
Got it.
Well done. Now this to me looks like an African monarch butterfly, but there's a diadem that mimics the African monarch and looks very, very similar. But isn't that just a beautiful looking butterfly? Almost like a little piece of a tiger's coat has been cut out to make that butterfly. How's it looking? Good. Oh, there's the monitor. And I wonder if we can do the unthinkable and creep a little bit closer. We might as well try. Talk to me, Jason, because my monitor's not so good.
Well, you can go for it.
Should we go this way and then that way try and get a full spread?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I'm ducking. Are you on it?
I'm on it.
Stalking butterflies. Oh no!
You're so close.
We got close, but I got greedy. Anyway, did it look good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I see your water, please?
Of course, sorry.
Thank you.
Doing anything too erratic? Can you see it's got its proboscis into that flower? Can you see that, Jason? Its tongue is a proboscis. Oh, well done. Sorry, you're concentrating on the fluttering, floating. There you go. Oh,
Okay,
and it's off.
it's gone.
Well done. Very well done.
Well, thank you.
But right at the end there, when my monitor did come back on and start working, I noticed that we could even see its proboscis going into the little flowers, sucking out nectar. So I hope you could see that as well back home. I'm sure you could. What a beautiful morning, and thankfully another little bank of clouds has moved over, and that is keeping us cool, as it did start getting quite hot when the sun came out. There's the Woodlands kingfisher. We had to stop and give it an attempted glance, but wasn't interested in hanging around. just like the North American monarch butterflies do. And to be honest, I don't know the answer to that question. Oh, I'm a bit rusty. But there could well be a seasonal migration of the African monarch butterfly. I'm not entirely sure though. So if anybody does know the answer to that question, I would be thrilled if you could share your knowledge and expertise with us. And to do that, you can just send them through to Alex on #SafariLive on Twitter, or questions@WildEarth.tv on email. What exactly were we looking for again there, Jason?
Leopard.
Cheetah. Oh, leopard. Both. Both?
Both.
Okay. We can do both.
Yeah.
Where would you prefer to go? We've still got 50 minutes. Where would you like to go, Jason? Basically, from now on, you tell me where to go, please.
Do you want to go check an airstrip?
Okay. It's not about me, it's about you now.
Am I getting the 5-star Zombie Sands treatment?
You're getting 5-star private guided high-end tailor-made safari experience here. And it's up to you to tell me what you want to do. And there's no limits here as to what you can request. It's free for all. Basically, I'm your slave now for the next 50 minutes.
Go then.
Okay, well.
In that case.
No, I do think it's a good idea to go to the airstrip. Let's go down there, have a look. It's potentially going to be packed with a good general game. Hey?
I could do some general game. Actually, we've had such a lack of general games with all the cats all over.
Exactly. So it's time to actually start hunting down the impala and the zebra. And that's why I'm upping the speed a little bit. There's some herbivores we need to get to see. And for those of you who are new or haven't been following very closely over the last few days or weeks, it is Jason's last few days with us out here. He's going to be the first of our team of 6 to leave this Sunday, so that's why we're giving him some special treatments so he can make the most of his last few days here before he heads off to university. Certainly have to keep a close eye on him to make sure he doesn't follow any of the wrong paths that he may come across whilst at university, so I'll be sure to be marshalling his movements.
I reckon I'm pretty responsible.
No, you are very responsible for age, and hopefully you'll work with Wild Earth as will I in the future, hopefully. If not, I'm sure we will catch up somewhere along the way.
100% sure we might do that.
100%, maybe definitely.
Yeah. Maybe possibly. Kind of.
So, because we are at quite a major road junction here, I would like to just double check that there are no trucks of any animals of interest, and nobody we're looking for there. So the Arathusa airstrip where we are heading is not far away, probably about 10 minutes at a leisurely speed. The last time I was there, I had a wonderful, wonderful sighting with Jason, and some zebra were playing, some zebra stallions were playing. It was really beautiful. Warthogs with their youngsters were also playing about and running from side to side. Some waterbuck were also fighting, but nothing serious, also playful. But just a beautiful, beautiful setting, and one that we don't see very often out in the Sabi Sands, our large open clearings. So it was always refreshing to have a bit of change of scenery like that. The game drives are very quiet this morning, so I've only heard 3 other vehicles out so far, and 2 of which came to the line that Jason found. Thanks, Jason. And it's just important to keep you guys updated on that, because it does make a large difference as to how many vehicles are driving around and how many animals are therefore likely to be seen. The more vehicles looking for animals, the more likely it is that more animals will be found, and I mean, that's common sense. Flip side of that is that if there are more vehicles, even if more animals get found, there's more pressure for everyone to see those different animals, so you're less inclined to be able to spend long periods of times with animals. So I prefer it when there's less people out. It's more challenging to find the animals, and then when you do find them, you have been through that challenge, which can often be hours with them. So the current amount of vehicles floating about is just perfect for us. There seems to be a little bit of a quiet period now after the December and early January rush over that festive period. Alex, is Rocky still just dangling there? Oh, so some of the zoomies are saying Rocky's not quite dead yet, which is interesting. Now, what have we here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't see anything.
I don't know why Jason sometimes likes to just focus on the road like this, but I think he finds it hypnotizing. Only kidding. Isn't this just wonderful? I was just thinking moments before we did find this chameleon, wouldn't it be nice to see a chameleon? And literally seconds later, there it was.
Did it just...
An ant? No, it was an ant that had tagged onto the chameleon for a free ride, and I was walking away. We're possibly going to jump back on. So the chameleon stopped dead in his tracks because he's realized that we are here, and you can possibly see that he is looking back at us with his left eyeball, keeping a very, very close eye on us. His right eye we can't see. It'll be interesting to know where that's looking, probably for danger from the other side, but it looks like he is potentially going to start moving again, and it really is funny when they start moving. They've got an interesting dance-like motion that they bob forward and backwards to. It looks like he's moving his front legs forward, but his back legs he hasn't moved, so they're just stretching further and further apart. There on his back left foot now you can see the zygodactyl toe structure, so that's very nice that you can see how their feet creates almost like a little mouth that can close over branches and therefore aid in their climbing. So they've got 2 toes on each side of that foot. It must be a terrifying venture, being a chameleon, coming down your tree and arriving at the edge of this vast open clearing, which is the road, down which massive beasts travel at high speeds, and you know you've got to get from one side to the other. It must be daunting. I mean, it's a long way for them to go. Jason can possibly pan across while he builds up steam of where he may have started and how far he needs to travel across that road. I mean, imagine getting to the rim before dropping down onto this plane of road before embarking on this mission. It cannot be fun. But he has made this trip so far and he is just about to complete it, so it looks like he may be building up steam again, and here we can see lots of birds calling around us, woodlands kingfishers, Cape turtle doves, both of which are doing not their standard calls but kind of abbreviations of their standard calls. Well, this is a very cautious chameleon. Rightfully so, you can't take any chances out here, because there are large amounts of animals that would feed on him happily. A lot of the birds, hornbills, so many birds, Burchell's kukels, most of the raptors. The woodlands kingfisher would even have a go at this, I'm fairly sure, and there was one in the tree just behind us, so he does have reason to move slowly and ensure that he does not get detected. But we may leave him to it and just drive past and let Jason stay on him as we drive past, but we will leave him. Look at him looking at us with those eyes. It really is incredible. Both eyes looking back, occasionally rotating one forward to make sure he's heading in the right direction. There was just another guy, and I just panicked that he that he didn't see the chameleon, so I'm going to continue and just make space for him, and I'm sure he'll enjoy that with his guests. Morning. How are you doing? Oh, of course I got a prize. I was like, the chameleon. Okay.
Where you gonna go now?
Just to have a quick look at the airstrip.
You're not gonna go for the breakaways?
Not yet.
Ah, okay.
Possibly this afternoon.
Ah.
Yeah. Is it busy there? Are there many vehicles there?
It's open now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I should do that then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks very much. Morning, folks. Impala. Okay. Well, that was great. I hope you all enjoyed. I just need to kind of organize myself here. Very organize myself. To get onto the right channel as we are on another property. Monetization, gotcha. Breakaways are an open lock. Okay. Let me get the tablets out to work out where we need to go. There is an interesting sighting that would be worth us making our way to. So we shall do that. Jason, I know that doesn't coincide with your airstrip plans.
That's okay.
But it's you'll thank me for it.
Okay, can't wait.
If you don't like it, I'll bring you back on your own continued extended private safari after breakfast to the airport.
Okay, that would be fantastic.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Okay.
This morning's just been too exciting.
It can get like that, Archer, sometimes. Just action, action, action. Okay, cool. We are heading in the right direction. Hold on. Oh, well done on working that run back. I believe there's going to be another little screen up somewhere on the screen. Someone on the picture, you should see something. And within that screen, there should be an elephant, I think. So Alex has worked it out, and now you can have a look at the elephants at Djuma in case he does anything exciting. And that way, just try something a little bit different, and I think it's a great idea from Alex and Final Troll to mix it up a little bit. And I applaud him for doing that. So I haven't said what it is exactly we're heading towards. I've never seen them before, these specific animals. So now I'm also very excited, and that's why I urged Romeo to allow us to change course from the airstrip towards these other animals, and time will tell what exactly it is they are, but it is worth hanging around for. So if you're planning on going anywhere, I wouldn't, unless it's crucial. But there's time to go and make yourself a drink, and depending on what part of the world you are, it may be a coffee or it may be something like a glass of wine or a gin and tonic, who knows. So many options. Either way, you can go and get yourself a drink. We'll probably be about 4 or 5 minutes until we get to this way that we want to be. There's some dark cloud looming above us and we may get a sprinkling of rain, but it will only be a pleasant sprinkling that we may have to cover up for only temporarily. It's nothing too serious. So interesting that Rocky is showing the sign, but he's not looking. But only. So interesting that Rocky is showing the sign, but he's not looking. But only there has been some movement for him. So Jason also doesn't know what we're going to see. He doesn't hear what audio comes through on the game drive channel, just gets the audio from the final control.
I think I worked it out.
Sorry? Okay, so now he doesn't want to ruin it for Jason. So he hasn't given us the Zulu translation of, or the English translation of the Zulu word that he used to describe the animal that he thinks we're going towards. Okay, well, we do need to start focusing now. I don't know exactly where it is that I should be going. But I think we are working out. We are heading certainly in the right direction, but I do just need to concentrate a little bit here. Lots of lion tracks, so we must be getting warm. It is that we're looking for, which could well have been lion, because I've just said lion tracks.
You kind of gave it away a little bit.
I think I gave it away. Okay, Jason, you know the drill now. I've got you into the general area, and you need to. The guys that they were, because they've already been found, so it doesn't make sense to follow the tracks in. But what does kind of concern me a little bit is that I'm not copying on the radio. Okay. Oh, that explains it. I took the wrong road. So, should have followed the tracks. There's a foot, I was on the right road, but I'm not. Ooh. Okay. Okay, well, whoops. There goes the little camera, the extra screen that you see. And thanks for putting that up, Alex, something different, and I think it's a great idea. Now, I don't really have time to be getting lost like that, so apologies. But we will be back on course shortly. Alright, so good. The cloud, now that I look at it again, is a little bit bigger. So this will go for us, but don't worry, we should make a plan. We do have to, don't worry, we should make a plan. We do have to have it for a few minutes. It takes a few months. I should slow down. Zion could be around any corner. Oh, the best. Sadly, there are some that aren't happy how much and one of those things is smell. And it really is such a beautiful smell and such a beautiful sight at the same time. Because here we have some lioness. Okay, Jason. Good. It's an interesting angle. I'm wondering what the best thing to do is here. I'm just going to reverse a bit, folks. Okay. Okay, he's making another route around here. And there appear to be 4 lion lying in that pile that you're looking at now, as well as another 5, it looks like, dotted about in other places. And they're called the Breakaway Pride. I don't know too much about them, I've never seen them. It's apparently 4 adult lionesses. There's actually 13 apparently lying here, I think they said. So 4 adult lionesses and 9 sub-adults. So hard to believe that in amongst all of this thick vegetation there are 13 lion. Can I move it to a different angle for you, Jason, or yeah? I sneezed and they all got a fright. Copy that, Alex, thank you. So a few of our viewers that follow the prides of lion closely through the Sabi Sands believe that it is the Breakaway Pride, and that in conjunction with the information handed to me from the guides of this area, it is apparently the Breakaway Pride. So like I said, I don't know too much about them. It's the first time I've seen them, and obviously they are called the Breakaway Pride because they potentially did split up from another pride at some point. And now they're a formidable pride. I mean, 4 lionesses and 9 sub-adults, a pride of 13 lions is a very considerable pride size, especially for the Sabi Sands. They don't often get very big here, so it will be interesting to see how much bigger it does get.
Can you roll forward as well?
Of course.
There you go up. Okay. Nailed it.
beautiful, so difficult to tell, but she looks like a considerably sized lioness, but she doesn't look very old. Again, hard to tell when they're all bundled up in the foliage like that, especially when you haven't seen them before. We've got a young male here doing some beard grooming. I'm wondering if he's going to continue. No, he's just stopped, but he may show some signs of further action. Oh, and he did. Here we go. We're very lucky. Oh, so he's got a bit of a limp. Could be from several different things. But it could even just be a little thorn in his foot. So hard to tell, but I'm glad we got to see him up on the move. Well, this morning certainly has been a morning that has been filled with lion. 2 big males on a buffalo kill. Again, big thank you to Jason for finding them for us. And then now, I mean, we can't see 13, but there are 13 of them here. But just what you can see in your picture now is literally a screen full of lions piled up on top of one another. So, good morning for lion. No sign of leopard, not even one single track that I saw. But that could change this afternoon. And the important thing to know for this afternoon is the great prospects that lie ahead. Hopefully those male lions will be a bit more active, potentially feeding on that carcass, maybe even if we're very lucky, vocalizing. And there is also the chance that this pride of 13 lions gets on the move. And that will be something we certainly want to try and get ourselves involved in. We may have problems here though, because there are potentially a few vehicles traversing this property that are all going to have the same intentions, so it's going to be difficult to get to these lioness when they are getting active. As like I said, there's going to be a lot of vehicles that want to be in that exact same position for obvious reasons. So either way, though, at least they're around, and there is a chance that we may be the lucky ones in the right position as they begin to wake this evening. It's probably getting to that stage of the day where they'll be wanting to move into the shade or start thinking about it. So this big lioness here, that is still happy with the cloud cover. Something else to bear in mind for this afternoon is it will be not just myself out, but both Mark and myself, so 2 different vehicles. And
sorry of waking up that female. I did not mean to do so.
no problem.
That's okay.
No problem.
I feel
Came
bad.
into the
No
view.
problem.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No problem. Sorry?
How many are in there?
1, 2, 3,
In
4,
here?
5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
8-ish.
Should we can move out the way. We can move out the way and you can...
We're pulling out.
Okay, you sure? Okay.
These are a group of 13.
13. Wow.
I'm measuring 4 females and 9 juveniles.
Okay. Good, well, I'm glad we got to see this.
You can't see them all because they are all packed together there.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
their thicket. But we know them very well.
Good.
They are resident at Londolozi.
Okay.
Very resident. So very, very occasionally to come this far north.
Well, that's lucky then.
Yeah, so they broke into 2 different groups. Now we call this breakaway.
Yeah.
And the original group that is still in there is called Chalala. Chalala is the original name for them.
Okay. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Copy, thank you very much. So we've just got some confirmation, one from Diane, who knows that the 4 lionesses were born in around 2009. So they're around 6 years old now. Putting them kind of in the prime of their life, I guess. And the sub-adults, I'm not too sure how that works exactly, how the build-up of the 9 sub-adults works, the breakup of that. But what is wonderful is that we are getting to see a new pride of lion that we have yet to see. And as I was saying just a few moments ago, both myself and Mark will be out this afternoon, so that way we can divide and conquer, and hopefully, well, either one of us will be on the males and one of us on this pride of lioness. Unless something changes, but at least we've got great prospects to switch between the 2 different sets of lions and what they're getting up to this evening. And it really is wonderful working in conjunction with somebody like Mark, so, and all the other guides out here for that fact. But really important, the teamwork. And what is unique for us is that, unlike a regular game viewer with guests on board, we can switch between the 2 vehicles, thus giving you 2 different angles, 2 different guides, and also giving you the best content at any given period. So your chances are twice as good seeing something here on Safari Live than it is actually when you're out here in real life. 10 minutes here. I don't expect anything to change, but it will be nice just to stay here as long as we can, because we may not come back this afternoon, depending. We'll get varying figures from different sources on such matters. What's important to understand with regards to your question is that wild lion and lion are 2 different things. So the population of lion, captive lion, is probably increasing in Africa and the world over, because there are so many captive breeding programs. To me, though, that doesn't count. They need to be wild animals to count. Yes, having zoos that keep genetic, what's the word? That keep the genetics of a species going and alive is great, and it's better than animals becoming extinct, and it is great for research and for people to see animals that would no ways be able to come on safari and then see those animals. So there's a need for captive animals, but they don't count. So I'm going to eradicate them from your question, and I'm just going to assume that you're talking about wild lion populations, because they're two very different things. And I think over the last 20 years, it's fair to say that the wild lion populations of South Africa have remained fairly stable, I think. They would have obviously decreased to a point, but since all of the national parks and reserves have been in place, they have been able to stabilize and maintain healthy populations as far as I'm aware. And also, conservation has increased greatly in South Africa in areas that were previously farmed agriculturally or for domestic animals are now being reverted back to wild animal farms, and therefore increasing territories for lions to exist. So you do get a lot of reintroduction of lions into areas where they used to exist but then were eradicated for farming purposes. So I'm sure in certain areas of South Africa it's increasing. Now that is speaking about South Africa, which is a different example to that of possibly less developed countries, where lion populations may still be under more of a threat and less management and care is taken of them. So it does vary where you go in Africa, certainly, but in South Africa I think it's fair to say that it's stable. Having said that, though, I know there will be people saying that lions are endangered and threatened and it's a result of hunting. There will be that angle. I'm not entirely sure how true that is. Again, I'm just speaking from my own speculation, and I don't actually have any hard facts on this matter, Doug. But good question, and I'm sure there will be some feedback or stats coming through from people who are more au fait with this than me. But then again, at the end of the day, who comes up with these facts and figures, and how credible are they? That's what I always ask myself. So it's something to bear in mind when reading stats and figures about conservation related issues. Depending on the people that are broadcasting a message, they may make things suit their need and therefore not make actual sense at the end of the day. And I'm not saying this in a cynical fashion, I'm just saying that it could well be swerved points of views depending on people's opinions. Well, I'm glad this one lioness is busy doing her nails, because if she wasn't, we would be looking at 13 sleeping lion. It's rather 12 sleeping lions scattered amongst us, with one doing a manicure. I'm not sure if I would like her to do my nails. Not that me and Romeo get our nails done anywhere, but if we were to get them done somewhere one day, I wouldn't like it to be by her. Although her nose does look quite cute when it scrunches up when she's going for the precision little nibbles at the end. She could potentially be trying to get a thorn out of her foot. A lot of the thorn seeds, which are used, or which are dropped by plants at this time of the year, are beginning to ripen, so the thorns are increasing. They were soft just a few weeks ago, some of the hardcore thorns here, but in the last few weeks they've grown and hardened, and there are a lot more thorns around, from the kinds of thorns that are dropped off from small bushes and trees, and then their mode of transport isn't water or wind, as these pods here may be, that Jason can potentially show you. The pods of this bush willow seed will rely on wind to transport them from A to B, and that's why they've got that 4-winged pod that would be able to blow very efficiently. You get some of those similar ones that only have 2 wings that would then float well, so that would be good for water dispersion. But then you also get thorns that stick into hooves or pads of feet, and then that way get dispersed and transported through an ecosystem. So those are all ripening now, as are these 4-winged pods of the Combretum. But just a few minutes left, folks, and a very big thank you for following from myself and Jason and Alex in the final control, and another big thank you to Blue Jay for finding that African rock python that sadly sounds like it has lost the battle to the weavers. But what an incredible sighting, and an interesting twist of events in that the hunter became the hunted. And just a minute to go now, and like I say, this afternoon both myself and Mark will be out, so I'm really looking forward to it. Weather-wise, we could expect anything. I'm not going to try and make any predictions, but there are some rain clouds around, so we could have some stormy weather. Anyway, a big thank you from me, and until this afternoon, we'll leave you on the last few little images of these lions, and we look forward to catching up a little bit later.